Instead, he said things like, give me the power, give me this, give me that. Yeah.
He knows that he has the authority. We've documented it for him. I don't think he's allowed to do it. I'm not sure Joe Biden is actually making these decisions. I think it's staff around him, and they're pushing him to hold to keep the border open.
But when you're hearing all of this conversation about 5,000 people being let in before anything gets done, tell me where your priorities are and what needs to be in this. And is it a no-go if those things are not in it?
Yeah, it's a no-go if what we're being told is true. It's a no-go in the House, and I've made that very clear to everybody involved.
Newt, your reaction to 4 Republicans voting against the impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas?
Well, I'd like to hear their explanation of why they think total failure on the border, total failure to obey the law, total failure to protect the American people is not impeachable. My guess is in a few weeks they'll bring that back and they will impeach him. I think that's what the maneuver last night said, which I thought was done well. Look, it's the smallest majority in American history. It's tough to govern with that small a majority, but I think that Speaker Johnson is gradually getting it done, and I think it will get done.
So you think they are united?
No, well, they're united with if you had all but 4.
Yeah.
You had 200, I think, and 16 to 4. Strikes me 216 to 4 is pretty united.
Okay.
And it's the same problem. There are a handful of people that say, you know, I'm so smart and I'm so clever and I'm so principled, I'm not going to go along with 216 of my colleagues.
Yeah. Your latest op-ed is titled The Longest General Election. You explain how the media will be attacking Trump and the Republicans more than ever now. You write this, quote, in the ideal Biden world, all political coverage for the next 6 months would be negative and about Republicans. Instead, the 2024 political drama will be about President Trump dominating. Newt, tell us more.
Well, look, it's an objective fact. Trump is the most dominant political figure we've seen, I think, since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You just saw it again in Nevada. They organized among their supporters voting for none of the above, just as another brushback pitch at Haley. And Trump has the capacity to, I think, if he will do it, he has the ability now to pivot, go to the country, and actually go, for example, he mentioned in his Iowa speech after he won the caucus that he wants to help the big cities. Well, imagine if Trump goes to Chicago and Detroit and Philadelphia and actually gives serious speeches about reaching out to Democrats to actually save the cities, which are in the process right now of collapsing.
Yeah.
I think when you look at, for example, Washington, D.C., the Congress ought to take it over, and Trump talks about the need to save our national capital, where they've had over 1,000 carjackings. And just last week, a former Trump official was killed by a carjacker on 14th Street, which is the heart of the business district. I mean, things in Washington are crazy in terms of crime.
Yeah, your thoughts on the RNC, Newt? I reported earlier that Ronna McDaniel is out, apparently. President Trump called her after my interview last week and asked her to step down. I mean, the RNC is saying, look, nothing's changed. We're not making any decisions until after South Carolina and the primaries. But what do you think?
I think that President Trump has absolute control of the Republican National Committee. I think that Ronna has been a very, very good leader who spent a long time, raised a lot of money, did everything she could. And I think the president probably wants new energy, new drive, and new effort. And it's always true. The nominee of the party gets to pick the National Committee chairman in both parties. It's impossible to survive against the president, either president. So Trump will get the person he wants.
Newt, great to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
All right, Newt Gingrich joining us this morning.